My name is Guy, and today we're going to review what is a good security policy for any company and what you should consider having in place. We'll use the example of a house to really illustrate the difference. So, any security policy that is being created, or any good security policy, is made up of multiple categories. And primarily they are the protection, the detection, and the response. The protection is very similar to a house. Imagine you have a house with the windows, the doors, the locks, and the fence. That is equivalent to the protection, where you have a firewall, you have endpoint protection on your machines. What typically happens is, if somebody's trying to get into your house, they may go up to the window, and most people, the way we were told in the old days, if you have a firewall, you have an endpoint protection, you should be fine. That's all the security that you need. But the truth is, that's not enough. If we look at the analogy of the house, if you have windows and a door and a lock and a fence, does that really stop somebody from getting in? It doesn't. Can't somebody break in a window? They can. And if they break a window, can they not get into your house? They can. Very similar. So how do we protect them? If the protection side, as we were told, is really only making sure that we're protected from the outside, how do we protect when they get on the inside? And so that's where the detection side comes in. From a house perspective, in our analysis, in our analogy, that would be a motion detection and alarm. It may be video cameras. It may be crime watch. It may be something that is meant that in the event that somebody gets into your house, you have some ways to protect. Now, on the network side, this is probably one of the most lacking services that are in place, because we were told early on, if you have a firewall and you have endpoint protection, then you're good. Most of the time, we see businesses spend over 80% of their budget, their security budget, in that one area. But the truth is, with today, all of the ways that people are tricking people of getting in through phishing or visiting vulnerable websites, a lot of times the people are already on the network. And so if you compare the example that we were talking about, if somebody breaks a window and they get into your house, the motion detection and the alarm should go off. In the example of the network, a true network example, a lot of times people don't have anything like that in place. So you don't even know that anybody's on your network. And the truth is, statistics from the FBI are showing that on average, somebody could be on your network for 12 months before anybody is even aware that they've been there. So what happens when somebody's on your network from the detection side? Well, there should also be a response as part of the security policy, the security program overall. So in our example of the house, let's say that you have a gun, or let's say you have a dog, or let's say you have some kind of an answer for when somebody is in the house. Now imagine you're sleeping upstairs and you hear the glass breaking and you hear footsteps that are running up the stairs right now towards your bedroom. Are you ready with the response? Do you have a gun, a bat, or a dog? Because if you don't, this is not the time to think, what am I going to do? And that's typically what happens with the businesses. And so it's very important for the businesses from that perspective to also have a response plan. What they should do, who they should contact, what services they need to deploy, backups, disaster recovery, who do they contact? All of these must work together. Each individual component is not enough. It's not enough to have a firewall and endpoint protection. It's not enough to have a network detection in place. It's not enough to have just a response, a backup and disaster recovery and policies. All of them need to be together, all of them must work together, and they all must be tested so that they all function and can be confirmed that they are ready for the time when you have an attack. I'm pretty confident to say that there is no way to stop anybody if they want to get into your network. The only thing you can do today is you can reduce the risk of the different areas within your organization by identifying what is the most sensitive part of your network and implementing different security practices, different layers of security, and isolating the most sensitive data, whether it's private information about people, if it's proprietary information, patented type of information. You really have to understand what you have in place. So there's the whole assessment side, and then there's the protection, the detection, and the response. And then finally, you have to be able to learn from whatever the mistakes were or lessons learned and after the event took place. So that is the overall view of what is a security policy that somebody should have in place.